Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today, incredibly strong infantry takes on incredibly cheap infantry as the Viper, playing as the Burmese in yellow, gets ready to duke it out with Sora Kuma, playing as the Goths in blue. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, not a bad time for us to take a look at the civilizational matchup that we will be watching today. Now, the Burmese are a civilization that primarily focuses on its mounted units. Their battle elephants automatically come with free extra armor and can be upgraded to get even more armor. Their cavalry can be upgraded to get a powerful +4 attack boost against archers, and their unique unit is the Arambai. Ooh, don't need an Arambai to steal your opponent's goats. Sora Kuma already with the shenanigans here. And even the Arambai ranged cavalry unit. Oh, all of a sudden, they just kind of stopped. Ranged cavalry unit that throws darts at its opponents with absolute horrible dog shit accuracy. 20% for the base model, 30% for the elite. Where the hell are you going? What is going on? Please let me get through my civ introduction. Nope. Sora Kuma already laming an elephant here. In any event, what's the cool thing about the Arambai? Well, whatever dart doesn't land on its main intended opponent still does 100% damage, compared to the usual 50% damage that a other archer unit would do when it misses. Oh goodness. What is going on here? The Viper just lost... I thought I heard a villager screaming in pain. The Viper just lost one villager. He still hasn't killed the elephant. Okay, finally does. Oh my goodness. Has another elephant lamed. And I don't even know if what the hell happened to all of his goats. He's gonna lose another one here. What a chaotic first couple of minutes to this game. Sora Kuma's not done. He's still hunting for this goat. Is he going to find it? He sees the tip of it. Oh, but never mind. Okay, he's actually going for it. Forget the civ introduction. We've already got some. He gets it. All right. Well, one way to kill your opponent and not have to wait until, I guess, the later stages of the game is to just starve them out. Kill all of their food sources. And now these guys are carrying back their 35 chicken nuggets each when they go on the hunt. Wow, what a incredible opening here from Sora Kuma, who almost teefs two more goats, but the Viper inadvertently misses one and lets him teef only one goat. Oh my goodness, what an absolute, by the way, one and then two. So the Viper lost at the bare minimum 200. And his pushables, are these his pushables? Or are these his pushables? I think these are his pushables here on the left, but these could very easily be his pushables as well. Oh my goodness. Sora Kuma coming out swinging here. That is a very, very powerful lame kill. The 200, let's catalog exactly what's going on here. He stole 200 food so far. Whether or not he gets it home is another question. But so far, he's definitely stolen 200 food. It looks like one of the goats has made it back. Then he lamed 3 of the... Oh my god. What a game. Then he lamed one of the elephants, which means long distance harvesting, which means a lot more decay. Although who's kidding who? How much did extra decay? Like 30, 40? Probably less than one villager. Then the Viper loses a villager because he didn't have enough to kill the elephant. Almost lost another villager. And then whether or not this is his primary pushables, I'm not sure. We'll see if he can't anymore because his scout is dead. So now the Viper loses out on another 420 food. And remember, these are Gothic hunters. We haven't gotten into even the Goths yet. We're 7 minutes in. I haven't even done my civ introduction. These guys carry 50 food instead of the usual 35. But at any event, wow, Sora Kuma coming out swinging. And anyway, what I was going to say, the Arambai, we've covered it. It throws darts, terrible accuracy, 20, 30%, but whatever misses does 100% damage compared to the usual 50% that other ranged units do when their projectile lands on the wrong unit. Now to support their elephants, their Arambai, their cavalry units, the Burmese have a few cool options. Number one, their infantry units get progressively stronger and stronger as the game goes on. They get a +1 attack boost starting in Feudal, Castle, and then all the way up to +3 in Imperial. Or you can choose the route of the Spellcaster, the Monk. If you go this route, number 1, all of your Monk technologies are cheaper. Number 2, to help you pay for them, take a look at this. The view of the Burmese on the minimap, they start every game knowing where every single relic is located, so you can gather them with those quicker monks. Those monks can be quicker because you can afford the upgrades for their movement speed a little bit better because they are 50% off. And so you see how that works. Bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. And Sora Kuma's not done. He's moving forward with more villages. I gotta finish this Civ introduction now in order to help you build the infrastructure, to help you pump out your units. Ooh, the Viper's gonna need some of that. Every single lumber camp tech is free of charge throughout the game. Now let's take a look at the Goths. About as single-minded as a civilization can get in Age of Empires by pushing players towards one building and one building alone. No, I didn't time it like this. This is quite fortuitous. Oh, there it is. Pops up yet again. Although, to be fair, this should have already been done once Sora Kuma hit Feudal, so that he can immediately pump. I'm assuming there's going to be a follow-up structure, either a tower or a archery range. In any event, they're very single-minded, the Goths. They love their barracks. These structures started the game working 20% faster, can be upgraded to work more than 200% faster, which is great so that they can pump out more units, because in Imperial Age, the Goths, they get 10 extra population space free of charge. They cap out at 210 compared to the usual 200. All of their infantry units get progressively cheaper as the game goes on. 20% in Dark Age, 25 currently in Feudal, 30 and then 35% off, basically more than a third of a discount. And no, that's not just a specific resource discount like food. It applies across the board to every single resource that a infantry unit costs. And Sora Kuma, is he gonna get a villager kill? Oh, he could have used that scout, unless the HP is low. Yeah, the HP is low. I thought maybe to block the villager from entering the TC safety zone. Now, not only can the barracks work faster, not only do the infantry units become cheaper and cheaper, but they also all get a progressive attack bonus against buildings, capping out at +3, which makes them amazing at taking down structures in the later stages of the game. Now, the barracks itself for the Goths can be upgraded to train their unique unit, the Huskarl. This is a pretty decent infantry unit with one important skill, and that is killing archers. They come with a big attack bonus against archers and base pierce armor that basically makes them invincible against most archer fire in the game. To support a big hungry population, their Goths, their hunters, pardon me, are stronger. They carry more, as we saw 50 instead of the usual 35, and their hunt lasts 20% longer. And by the way, the Goths, they can research Loom in under a second, which means these villagers get the extra armor, the extra HP in the blink of an eye, which usually means they can train an extra villager, since Loom takes 25 seconds for most other civilizations to research. The Viper's fighting back, gets his first kill, but when you get it in under a second, it does free up some TC time to train villagers. Now, the Viper here, he's down 2 villagers. One, naturally, by, I guess, just not having enough food for the villager, since his sources of food have just been lamed left, right, and center. And one to Mother Nature herself. I guess the elephant was super duper angry that the Viper could not defend its mate, and so lashed out, killed the villager. But to be fair, the Viper's army here is still, at the end of the day, in the same age, with the same upgrades as his opponent, and is larger. And for all that this infrastructure is here, the Viper still kind of does have defender's advantage, although not if he takes the fight right next to these structures, which can reinforce very, very quickly. One tower laming the wood line to the north, one tower gonna lame the stone, which I thought a second ago Sora Kuma was mining, but now the Viper's mining. This is just gonna be, I guess, the game that we're watching here. Chaotic, a mess, unclear of who's winning, although Sora Kuma's score is about 20% ahead of his opponents. He still has his scout alive, which is what I believe this blue dot is on the right side of the minimap, exploring and looking for things, relics, whatever. The Goths don't have any kind of special vision out on the map. And here we go. Tower is up for our Goth. And oh wow, the Viper does not want any interference while he's attacking, and Sora Kuma abandons ship. Viper's going to take a little bit of the high ground here outside of the TC, outside of the tower firing zone. But a decent map for running around to wood lines. If he gets lamed here, he can run back to this wood line a couple of chunky wood lines. Although it doesn't seem like that's going to happen as the tower falls. The Viper with 9 villagers. So this isn't just a tower defense. The Burmese are one of these civilizations that you can perform the red phosphor on, because their unique unit, the Arambai, does cost only wood. Now, it's not a cheap unit, 75 wood. But if the Viper can keep going with stone, the push seems to be kind of stalling out here. This tower is lamed what it's going to lame. This infrastructure is now underneath an enemy tower occupation, if you want to use that word. The south is being defended by human army as opposed to static defense. Even villagers are being brought forth. The kill count is identical. It's 16. The Viper has actually killed a villager of his opponents. Whereas Sora Kuma, despite that impressive attack, despite the impressive laming in the beginning of the game of all the food sources, has yet to kill a villager. That's even more astounding since there's 4 villagers right here charging straight into his army. But nope, he's just continuing to reinforce with skirmishers. Both players, are they trying to go up to the castle age? The Viper's got 300 food. Sora Kuma broke. Okay, so he's going to lame the second wood line. I like that he got fletching. I like that they both got fletching. Continuing the tower attack slash defense game. And the Viper's gonna have to move out here in a little bit. That's okay. He's got 126 wood. He can easily relocate to this wood line. And then he can use his mobile army, his skirmishers, and maybe even a villager or two to keep Sora Kuma's villagers from crossing this expanse to lame this wood line. I mean, this wood line is going to be a lot harder to lame. It is a thick chicken McNugget of a wood line. This is curious. Why did he build a tower here if he knew that he was going to just relocate his villagers? I mean, now you've kind of wasted 5 villagers inside here. You've wasted 125 stone. And yeah, I'm assuming the Viper, is he going to sell the stone? Does he have a market? He does not have a market. More villagers coming forward from Sora Kuma. Units inside here, spearmen and skirmishers. No one's training a single gold unit at all. That's because Sora Kuma doesn't have any villagers mining gold. Viper's got 12 off his primary stack. Viper's only down 2 villagers still. This hold, this defense has been incredibly impressive, and he unlames the woodline. Not too sure what the point of this tower is. Ooh, what is the point of this tower? I guess to lame this part of the woodline? Skirmishers attacking a mill and a farm, but the Viper's main army has pivoted here. He's seen all of these extra villagers from Sora Kuma, who, by the way, back home, has walled himself in with a nice row of houses, except left one kind of open here. Remember, the Goths, the weakest walling civilization, probably. I mean, even the humans who don't get walls, stone walls like the Goths don't, at least their palisades come with extra HP. The Gothic palisade is just a basic palisade. This is a huge chunk of Sora Kuma's economy. 7 villagers out of 48 is a 1/7 of his economy just running around here doing nothing. And now we've got a village brawl. The Viper's killed 4 vills. Sora Kuma finally managed to get his first vill kill. Adds a second. The Viper adds a 5th and a 6th. All right, villagers are starting to fall here. What a battle of micro. And look at the Viper's base on the mini map. He's surrounded to the north, the east, the south. Now it looks like these villagers were trying to attack the skirmishers, get into their minimum range, hoping that Sora Kuma wasn't paying attention. But attention he was paying. And shoos away that attack. Spearmen should be able to get killed very quickly. Skirmishers do come with a decent, I think, +3 attack bonus against them at this point. And the Viper, look at his stone count, 659. He's a minute and a half away from Castle Age. Sora Kuma nowhere close. Now the Viper just needs wood and gold, so he can start pumping out a Rambai. He's gonna chase into this. I don't know what to follow, which little mini battle to follow here, so I'll just follow both. No, the Viper pulls back to the south. There's no more he can chase with this tower here with its 3 villagers inside. Where do we think the Viper's going to put down a castle, and will Sora Kuma contest it? His army count is massive now, 19-3. He's ahead 7 villagers. But look at his resources. Just barely there to Castle Age. Needs another 150 food. Ooh, look at that. The Viper has so much food, he doesn't even need it if he's going to go castle play. There it is. And then he's starting to train scouts and a single knight. How many villagers are constructing this? Only 4, 5, 6? So that castle's not going to go up anytime soon. This tower is was attacking the villagers, but they moved out of the risky zone. And now Sora Kuma has to make a decision. What the hell does he do? He's going up to Castle Age as well, but do you stick around? Do you try to why is he not pressing into this? This isn't that many villagers. You could take out 2 or 3 of these vills before that castle is complete, maybe even more. Look at his army. 20 army count. No, he's returning home. All right. Wow. I mean, sometimes I say pressure from the beginning of the game. Sometimes I say from minute 1. But this was literally from like minute 1, was it not? I couldn't even get through my civ intro. I couldn't even start my civ intro until minute 7 because of the attack from Sora Kuma. Laming the elephant. Laming the zebras. And yeah, a Rambai are coming out. So look at this accuracy. Base accuracy, 20%. That's hilarious. Remember, whatever dart misses still does 12 damage. So if you target the one in the center and it lands on this guy, he's dead. Well, I mean, he would be dead anyway. This guy, he loses 12 HP. They are amazing at units that are clumped. And if you're not careful with ranged units, they clump a lot. And so let's see what the Viper's going for. He's going a Rambai play. Okay, he's basically going a Rambai play. Everything else is, he stopped production. He's adding some monks. That knight that he trained earlier is still around, chasing away skirmishers. Sora Kuma himself does not have the stone for a castle. Not that I think Huskarls right now would be the most helpful unit. The thing about the Rambai is it's like the Ratha. It has pretty much every armor class under the sun, so it is susceptible to a lot of counter units, by the way, including Huskarls. The reason I don't expect to see Huskarls, number 1, he doesn't have the stone for it. Number 2, they're kind of slow on their feet, whereas the skirmisher is a lot quicker. So this guy comes with 2 attack bonuses, cavalry archer and archer. And the Rambai has not only cavalry archer, where are you? There you go, cavalry archer and archer armor, but also cavalry armor and unique armor in case we randomly see a Japanese samurai appear out of the ether. So the Viper not really doing too much at home. Okay. Sora Kuma is taking, not doing too much abroad. Sora Kuma taking that as a message that, hey, I'm playing against the Viper. He's known to be very quote-unquote greedy when it comes to his builds, and he wants to build up his economy. Let's see if that's the case here. Oh, these Rambai are in trouble now. They come with a good amount of HP, but again, now they're facing 2 bonuses. The Night Falls as well. What is the Viper doing back home? Adding university. Does he have a market? There it is. A couple of Rambai here hanging out. Couple of Rambai here hanging out. Villagers healing. Or monks healing villagers. A random mangonel is out. Now Sora Kuma might want to diversify his army a little bit. I'm not sure only skirmishers are going to do the job here. Because again, they clump a lot. And when you clump against the Rambai, it doesn't matter what you really have. They shred through chunks of units like nobody's business. And the Viper, well, he's moving out now. He's down 7 villagers, 8 villagers, but he's ahead a little bit in army count. Oh, look at that. They fired. They missed the entire first volley. They missed the entire third volley. This is what happens when your accuracy is so freaking bad. And redemption being researched for our Burmese instead of the 475 gold. It is 238. So I guess the developers rounded up. Back home. Houses, houses, houses. And look at that. Doesn't even care. At this point, this is more of a liability because this is what's going to happen. You're going to train archer units, in this case skirmishers. You're going to think they're coming from the closer archery range, but no, they're making the trek all the way from the south, one at a time, unescorted. Now he's going to have to be so careful. A Rambai on the high ground, Mangonels on the high ground. That's why I said you need to diversify your army a little bit here as the Goth. Otherwise, you're not going to have any melee to charge into this army, or at the very least zone it out. Does he have his own siege workshop? He's working on getting one. But the Viper's here with 3 Mangonels. Siege workshop is down. Kind of sucks for the Goths that they don't get redemption, which means their monks cannot really convert anything here other than a Rambai. Look at this. Another town center firmly in the back. Another town center completely off campus. I said this the other day. We've seen pro players do this more and more, where they go out in the middle of nowhere during a time in the game where exploration is basically over. You know, the age of sales and the age of exploration is done for now. I love the dart animation. But let's see, Sora Kuma still does have a bigger army. 26 skirmishers are not to be laughed at when they counter a unit and one-shot it like that. Monk attempts to convert into Rambai. Monk dies to a Mangonel, which dies to a Mangonel that pops out, and then dies itself to a Mangonel that survives its attack. And then flattens a villager right as she stares that Mangonel down. Attack rounds out of the Viper. Or is he just attacking the centers of the farms? Oh, you gotta be so careful. And this is what you don't want to be doing, is charging into Mangonel fire with a very, very squishy unit. You can pick off a monk. You've got ballistics. How is he missing every single volley? Ah, that's so sour. That's so gross. A third of his army disappears in the blink of an eye. Welcome to fighting against Siege. Looks like back home, the Viper is finally taking out this one tower that's keeping this northern wood line from being jacked. Villager conversion. Farm destruction. And now the Viper, he can walk around converting basically most of these buildings. And if Sora Kuma isn't careful, he actually will convert them. Looks like Sora Kuma decided to delete that siege workshop instead of letting it fall into enemy hands. But the Viper can just pivot here, convert the blacksmith, convert the houses, do whatever the hell he wants. And if Sora Kuma doesn't delete them, well, they're mine now, says the Viper, and he can delete them if he wants to. So what is Sora Kuma doing? I mean, he's got 26 more villagers. He thought the Viper was really going to put the brakes on the military and focus on his economy, and then out of nowhere pop out a bunch of Mangonels and 25 a Rambai. Well, 24 now. To be fair, he is doing a lot with a little here, Sora Kuma. He is getting monks. He is getting a Rambai. Again, these are not cheap units. A Rambai are a lot more expensive than skirmishers, and they cost gold. 75 wood, 60 gold. He's ahead 30 villagers now. If he can hold here, I mean, this is where you, as the Goth, might want to just start spamming some infantry, no? But, oh, you gotta be moving! Another potential real bad pancake. And how many archery ranges does he have? Only 2. Oh, no. Villagers are attacking the Mangonels. They are dying to the Rambai. Town center falls as well. What is this blue dot moving at here? Okay, so no more archery range. Looks like that is not the first skirmisher that castle has killed. Another villager coming here. You want to be careful. Don't telegraph to the Viper that you have villagers coming from this part of the map. Why are you showing your enemy that? Now the Rambai are in, and even if you give them 10% accuracy, this many of them are going to one-shot villagers. And look at how clumped. Look at this jumbled mess of humanity for our Goth. Absolutely atrocious. But again, the skirmishers, they're not doing too terrible of a job. The Viper's down to 19 a Rambai. He's not exactly replenishing them at a very quick pace, but what is this? Oh, he's bringing villagers. He's castle dropping. The base has been carved into 2. The thing about the Rambai is its range is not fantastic. Ooh, pancake. But the villagers do manage to get one of the Mangonels. They'll get a second one as well. Third one as well. Keep going. Keep going. You are doing just fine, but your villager lead has disappeared from 30 to 1. And the Viper's castle has begun its construction, but he, he lost all his mangonels. What the hell? Is the Viper in risk of losing this game all of a sudden? He's been in firm control for the last 15-20 minutes. Arambi are crushing through these villagers. Random blue villager. I don't know what this villa is doing here. Why did you bring your monks this far forward? What was the point of that? But the Viper's castle does go up first. Oh my god, he retreats at what percentage? 75. Oh, is this castle even gonna go up? There's a mangonel coming in from the south. More villagers are pulled. What an absolute expensive castle. The Viper's heading up to Imperial. Even if this castle goes up, it does go up. What an absolute Pyrrhic victory. I want to see afterwards how many villagers that cost him. 86 vill kills by the Viper to 14. Wow. And now the Viper is going to start stealing farms. This is a Rambai. Keep this location absolutely quarantined. There's no way those villagers are making it anywhere. But to be fair, there's another town center being built down here, which the Viper has had zero vision of. Absolutely no vision. Now, if he goes to get this relic, maybe he will. But as of right now, okay, he's losing even more. He's down to 6 Arambi. He's training an elephant unit. From where? Tell me it's not from back home. It is from back home, because why the hell, after you brought all of your villagers forward, would you not build some infrastructure here? This, unfortunately, is the last remaining portion of Sora Kuma's army to the south. This is to the north, and I believe there's a petard in here with 3 skirmishers. So 3, 3, and 3. The 3 to the south have been pancaked. The 3 to the north are running away to the TC. The 3 to the east are stuck inside their castle. And whoa, the Viper, careful. Oh, but he's an Imperial. Treb immediately gets trained. Villager dies before he can get the mangonel. And with him die the hopes of our Goth. What? I mean, we have just been seeing games that are so aggressive. If not for minute 1, then minute 2. But holy moly, I hope I did this. Like I said the other day, I hope I did this game justice. And the Viper's going to win this, but he's going to look at this part of the map and be like, wait, what? You had a whole other colony over here? Did the petards ever exit? No, he's got 3 of them, though. Should you be that scared if you're continuing to train petards? I mean, he's at 3 already. Add in what, 5 more? 6 more? And then you have really nothing to fear. But wow, Sora Kuma. I want to see the number of. I'm gonna have to remind myself. I want to do that last. How many villagers died in the construction of this castle? It reminds me of my favorite song from the band Rainbow. It's called Stargazer, and it talks about basically a tyrannical wizard. This is a song from like the 70s and 80s when everyone was like high on cocaine and telling fantastical tales. It tells the story of a wizard, tyrannical wizard, who basically enslaves the population to build himself a tower so that he can ascend to the heavens. But then, of course, because he's a mere mortal, he just falls to the ground and dies. And then everyone's like, wait a second, what the hell are we doing? Why are we building a tower for a wizard? Blah, blah, blah. So I want to see how many villagers died so that this wizard could ascend here to the top and try to ascend to heaven. But before we do that, let's take a look at the stats, because that was a wonky game. Now, 100 skirmishers. I would have loved to see some infantry thrown here as well. Maybe Huskarls to help zone out, because a Huskarl won't be too afraid of the Arambi as it pushes into the Mangonel, whereas the skirmishers can take care of the Arambi. And by the way, the skirmishers have done an amazing job taking care of the Arambi, because look at the Arambi count. It's down from like 25 to 6. And that is probably 90% due to those skirmishers. But let's see. Skirmisher and Mangonel, 14 Mangonels, 4 monks. I wonder how many conversions. Look at the peak APM halfway in. Peak APM right towards the end of the game for Sora Kuma. Well, kind of towards the end of the game for Sora Kuma. Economies, if you remove the relic, pretty much 10% apart. But look at the gold difference. I mean, I don't say Mamma Mia very often, but Mamma Mia. 7,000 gold in a 45-minute game. Wood, identical. Food, a bit more for our Goth. Stone, a tiny bit more for our Goth. But what the hell? 7,500 more gold for our Burmese? That is just bonkers. They have 0 bonuses when it comes to that. So that is just pure muscle and grit from the Viper. 6 conversions to 0, 6 raisings to 2, pardon me. Total villager count 92 kills to 16, and more than double the kills. But that's not that's to be expected. One is a squishy skirmisher. That's not a word. Although I guess if they're kind of a, you know what? These are skirmishers. They're skirmishers who are squirming in their boots, afraid. So they're elite skirmishers against this guy with triple the HP. Yeah, no wonder the Viper killed double. But I'm curious to see. Bear with me. You know, sometimes I'm all about these shenanigans and random irrelevant. By the way, by the time the elephant even made it to the battlefield, it was already GG. So a lesson learned: don't train slow-moving units from the other side of the map if you have any expectation of using them in the game. Although I suspect this is more of a flex since there's only one elephant being trained. And how's that +1/+1 armor looking? Man, the Burmese elephant, once you research how to, it adds another +1/+1. They are, I made a short about them a while back. They are freaking tanky. Let's see at the moment when it completed. Okay. So at the moment the castle goes up, the Viper had killed 85 villagers. Here's the test. Is he killing villagers anywhere else? Let's assume no, because he hasn't explored this part of the map. There's no vills down here left to kill, and I don't think his Arambai can reach any of these villagers before they run away, except maybe this guy and her and this random idiot with a and maybe this idiot. Okay, but whatever it is, right now it's 85. Let's go back to when the castle first started construction. I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but it's definitely the way I'm going to do it. So when first Hammerfall occurs, so this is not the right location. He relocates it a second later. Okay, 52. 33 dead villagers. Now again, some of them might be like here. Some of them might be up here. But wow, 33 dead villagers between the time the first vill hammers the first nail into the first plank to when the castle goes up. That is a lot. That is, I mean, he already lost his lead at this point. At one point he was ahead 30 villagers. Now he's on par, and then he's going to go down another 33. I mean, he is killing the Viper's villagers too, but that is pretty bad for Sora Kuma to go from 52. Don't forget, this is just the first wave. There's 3 waves. There's that second one that came in. There's the third one that comes in. And there goes the castle. Oh, no. Now it says 83. Okay, it doesn't matter. 30 or so villagers. Meanwhile, skirmishers are getting flattened. No wonder these guys became skirmishers and ran straight into the castle. I want to get the hell out of here. Viper loses more Arambai. Viper loses his mangonel. So not a free get for the Viper, but an absolute atrocious loss of life, of villager life here for our Burmese. Okay, so these guys weren't touched. So it is primarily 30 villagers it costs for this castle. Ouch. That is painful. And with that pain that the Viper inflicts, look at the economies now and look at the economy at the end of the day. The Viper with probably one of the toughest openings we've seen in a while. One elephant lamed, well, lamed with like a little L because he still managed to harvest it. Another elephant kills a villager before taking it about 5 hours to die. 2 goats stolen, if not more. 420 food lamed or just taken. Although, and then, yeah, he didn't even take these 3. So no wonder he went farms ASA frickin' P. But despite that, and then immediately after that, a few minutes later, shows up Sora Kuma with villagers and skirmishers and spearmen and just tries to kill. and the Viper tenaciously held on. What a boss hold out of our Burmese. And with that boss hold, he manages to not only survive, thrive, but also expand outwards to the point where he out castles his opponent on home territory. And with that castle, he starts keeps pumping out a Rambai, but more importantly, Imperial Age to nowhere close to Imperial Age. And so we have a one of those imp to GG games, but that doesn't really tell the full story. The full story is, wow, congratulations to Sora Kuma for that clinic in aggression, but congratulations to the Viper for the clinic in holding. And in this particular case, the holding beat out the aggression, which then led to his own aggression, which led to the GG. But GG, I guess. I'm about to overlap on myself, but GG to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.